A night Munich will never forget. PSG's 5-0 masterclass. Imagine the roar inside Munich's Allianz Arena on May 31, 2025. Over 64,000 fans, heartbeats racing, watched as Paris Saint-Germain did what many thought was impossible. They not only won their first ever UEFA Champions League, but they did it in jaw-dropping style, a 5-0 demolition of Inter Milan. If you'd turned away for a second, you might have missed the next chapter in football history being written, with PSG leaving the pitch as the first French club to ever claim a continental treble. 5 goals, 1 record-setting margin, and a tidal wave of emotion that swept from the stands in Munich straight to the streets of Paris. It's not just the scoreline that'll be replayed for years, it's how PSG did it that has everyone talking. From the 12th minute opener by Achraf Hakimi to the 89th minute exclamation point from Seni Mayulu, this final was a story of tactical brilliance, youthful audacity, and, honestly, a complete unraveling of one of Europe's most defensively solid teams. So, what sparked this transformation? And what does it tell us about the future of football? Let's dive in.
From superstars to super team, Luis Enrique's tactical revolution. For years, PSG was the club of Galacticos. Flashy, expensive stars like Neymar and Mbappe, dazzling but sometimes disconnected. But 2025 was different. Under Luis Enrique, PSG underwent a complete footballing makeover. Forget the days of relying on one superstar moment to save the day. This was a team that pressed high, passed sharper than ever, 88% accuracy that night, and moved as a unit, not a collection of egos. Expert analysts have been quick to point out how PSG's midfield, led by Vitinha and João Neves, controlled the tempo and suffocated Inter's playmakers. But it was up front that this new philosophy really shined. Ousmane Dembélé, operating as a false 9, was everywhere, starting attacks, tracking back, and setting the stage for Désiré Doué's record-breaking night. And let's not forget Kvaratskhelia, PSG's January signing, whose unpredictable runs and pressing helped crack Inter's defense wide open. Luis Enrique himself called it football for the future, and after watching Inter's normally unflappable defense, Bastoni, Acerbi, the whole crew get pulled apart, it's hard to argue. This wasn't a win built on individual magic, it was a blueprint for collective excellence. If you're a coach, you're probably already scribbling notes. Oh,
the rise of Désiré Doué, how a teenager stole the spotlight. You might have heard Désiré Doué's name before, but after this final, you'll never forget it. At just 19 years and 362 days, Doué became the youngest player ever to score a brace in a Champions League final, and he did it with style. His first goal, a sharp finish in the 20th minute, sent shockwaves through Inter's back line. But it was his second in the 63rd minute, after a dizzying PSG move, that sealed his place in history. On top of that, an assist, making him the youngest player to both score twice and set up a goal in the final. This wasn't just a good game for Doué. It was a coming-of-age performance that could change the way clubs think about youth development. PSG's faith in their academy and young talents paid off on the biggest stage. And while Dembélé and Kvaratskhelia grabbed headlines, it's Doué's composure and fearlessness that have fans and pundits buzzing about a new superstar in the making. Case studies will be written about this final, not just for the record scoreline, but for how a teenager became the symbol of PSG's new era. It's a reminder, in modern football, boldness and belief in youth can win you everything. Celebration or chaos? The aftermath that shocked Paris. Back in Paris, jubilation quickly turned into something darker. Tens of thousands poured into the streets to celebrate, but as the night wore on, the mood shifted. Riots broke out in several districts, with tragic consequences. 2 fatalities, more than 190 injuries, and over 500 arrests. Suddenly, the city's greatest footballing triumph was overshadowed by questions about public safety and the price of passion run wild. Authorities scrambled to restore order, beefing up security for future events and launching urgent investigations. It's a stark reminder that football isn't just a game, it's a force that can unite and sometimes unleash chaos. While PSG's players paraded the Champions League trophy at the French Open, the city itself was reckoning with the responsibilities that come with sporting success on this scale. So, is this just the cost of victory, or a wake-up call for how we celebrate as fans? Event organizers and city officials are already rethinking their playbooks. What this means for Inter Milan and the future of European football, you have to feel for Inter Milan. Heading into this final, they were seen as one of the best drilled defensive sides in Europe. But by the final whistle, their backline was in tatters, and their manager Simone Inzaghi looked shell-shocked. He admitted post-match that the team was both physically and mentally exhausted, and wouldn't be drawn on his future with the club. If you're an Inter fan, you're left wondering, was this just a bad night, or a sign that change is coming? But the bigger question is what PSG's win means for the rest of Europe. This wasn't just a trophy, it was a challenge to football's biggest clubs. The days of building around one or two megastars might be over. Teamwork, tactical flexibility, and investment in youth could be the new gold standard. Already, analysts are saying PSG's approach under Luis Enrique will become a template for clubs looking to break through at the highest level. And don't forget the commercial ripple effects. Ligue 1, long overshadowed by the Premier League and La Liga, suddenly looks a whole lot more attractive to sponsors, fans, and future stars. Could more French clubs follow PSG's lead? Will Inter bounce back, or is this the start of a new European hierarchy? The next chapter. Is this the dawn of a new era? So, after a night that changed everything for PSG, and maybe for European football as a whole, what comes next? Will other clubs adopt the high-press, team-first philosophy that brought PSG their treble? Can Désiré Doué keep his meteoric rise going and become the next global icon? And how will Paris balance the joy of victory with the need for safety and unity in future celebrations? One thing's for sure. May 31st, 2025 won't be remembered as just another final. It's a turning point. A night when the beautiful game reminded us it's as much about bold ideas and togetherness as it is about goals and trophies. The only question left is, who's ready to follow PSG's lead into a new era of football?